lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Fanatics Weekly Auction Ending Watch Party for June the 1st, 2025. My name is Jeremy Lee, and this is going to be an exciting episode tonight. Well, especially exciting for me because I've got a big chunk of cards selling in the auction tonight with Fund Your Cards. So I've been tracking these cards, and I'm a little nervous. I'm a little excited, but it's going to be a fun night. There's some amazing cards tonight, guys, and yeah, there's lots of cards that I love in the auction, and sure some of you guys too love them as well. So we will definitely be having a little bit of fun here. Want to welcome you all. Laura, good evening. Thank you for being here. Linda's First is here, as well as Jacob Dahl, and that is just so far. So welcome everybody. If you're bidding on anything in the auction tonight, there is the Sports Cards Live affiliate link pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. So feel free to click that before you go and do any bidding. If any of you, I know some of you did join us on Sports Cards Live last night. Thank you for being there for that. That was a fun show. Happy to have you all there. Collectors World Fargo. Hey, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I really do. I just hope that I don't owe Fund Your Cards any more money after all the cards that I gave them. But so I just hope that these do well for me tonight. And I hope that they end up in some good collections. So that's exciting as well. Kinger, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Well, guys, I think we should, I think we can get into this. Why not? Now, for some reason, the Instagram link isn't working. I don't know why. You guys that are watching, you don't really care about that right now. So I guess we're just gonna have to abandon that altogether. For some reason, that is not working. I don't know why. And I'd love for it to go live, but it's not gonna. So we are just gonna forget about it then and move on. Jake Dahl, you're watching the last part of SCL from last night. Thank you for that. Todd McDonald, what's going on, Todd? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Pick 6 cards in the house. What's happening? Pick 6. Let's do this, says Linda's First. I could not agree more. Let's do this then, everybody. And let's bring up the cards. We're going to start as we do with baseball. What's up, Mike Double V? Welcome to the show. We're going to start with baseball, guys. And across the top, 3 great cards, 2 Cobbs and a Babe Ruth. And not the typical Cobbs and Ruth that I like to look at and that we look at, but these are great cards. The 1909 T206 Ty Cobb bat off shoulder with the polar bear back, which is just the kind of the coolest back in the world of T206s with all the color right there, all the single color, we should say. It's at $4,400. It's got a PWCC eye appeal rating with it as well. And yeah, that's a great looking card. For me, I'm eventually going to get a Ty Cobb. It's either going to be the red or the green portrait. I was leaning red for the longest time. Now I might go green. We'll have to see. But this is a good alternative if you're not into the portraits, and not many people are. I like the gradient in the background from the sky to the sunset to what might be a body of water to the grass. Just a nice looking background right there on the Ty Cobb. And then we have the 1911 T205, the gold border. It's a PSA 6. And these cards, I never used to like them. They just didn't do it for me. Maybe it was the colors. I don't even know what it was. But it's grown on me. It's grown on me. And as I think more and more about, the cards I want to own in this hobby, and I think, well, this is an important set, and I've never owned a copy of any card from this set. Maybe I would add one, and if I would it be the Ty Cobb? And then I think to myself, but I only really need for myself one Ty Cobb card. So which one would I purchase for myself? Would it be, again, the T206, the red or the green background? Would it be a T205 like this? Would it even be a Cracker Jack to go with my Joe Jackson eventually? Or would it be, there's another one, I forget what it's called. It's like maybe it's a Bond Bread or something like that. I went crazy for one a couple of years ago in an auction. I just loved it. But this is a great card right here. The 1932 American Caramel, or the U.S. Caramel Babe Ruth PSA 3, $14,500 so far for this. And this whole US Caramel set is one that I've never really paid attention to. I don't know that I particularly even knew what it was for quite some time, and now it has caught my eye. I forget what it was that made it catch my eye, but someone brought it to my attention. It caught my eye, and another set that maybe one day I'll want to own a card from. Would it be the Babe Ruth? Maybe it would. I don't mind having more than one Babe Ruth card in my collection. I have more than one right now. Maybe I would eventually pick up one of these US Caramels. 14,500 for the PSA 3 at the moment. Now, if you know, and I know a lot of you do know a bit about what I want to own in my collection, and the number one card in my collection, the number one card on my want list is this 1941 Play Ball Joe DiMaggio. This is the number one card I want to own that I don't own right now. This is a PSA 7, $14,000, and it's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. I'm not going to be buying this one tonight. I'm not going to be bidding on it. I'm not going to be buying it. If I could afford it, I would, but I can't right now, so I'm not going to. It's a 7. I will hopefully acquire like a 3 one day, and that's where I will have to be just from a pricing perspective. But this is a beautiful card, and if we just take a bit of a closer look, so this purplish reddish background, it comes in different shades of this color. I prefer the more purpley background than this one. And then the other issue with this is just the registration. It is slightly out of focus, as you can see a shadow coming off of his shoulder under the bat on the side of the hands. And you can just tell that he's, the face isn't totally in focus. Also, you got the blue stripe coming down into the picture itself under the black thin border. Now, again, I'm nitpicking here, guys. This is a strong copy of the card. And if those things were perfect, I don't know, maybe I'd have to call Fund Your Cards again and say, hey, Mark, we got to do another deal. I got to figure this one out, because I will be owning one of these cards hopefully within the next couple of years. I love it. This is a great copy. It's not the one for me, but it's the one for other people for sure. All right, we have the 48 Bowman Stam Musial rookie card PSA 6. I own a copy of this card. Did not have to sacrifice it in the Joe Jackson consolidation, and this is a nice looking copy. As I look at it, it seems the toning gets a little bit darker as you go from the bottom left-hand corner down here up to the right, but that's okay. If it's a black and white card, obviously, as you can see, and this is a pretty nice copy for a 6 from what I can tell. Nice card, simple card, right? It's a nice, simple card. So I like it. And it's always fun reading the back of these cards. And then the 51 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie card. Guys, this is an absolute stunner. No eye appeal. No eye appeal assessment here. Oh, I see why there's no eye appeal assessment. So let me go back. When I said this is a stunner, looking at it, you can see it's got wonderful centering. It's not perfect, but it's extremely strong for the card. It's also got not perfect focus and registration, but really good. But look at the saturation, a term we talked about last night on Sports Cards Live. It has excellent color overall. So the reason why I don't think it got an eye appeal assessment or award is because there does seem to be this, I don't know if it's excess ink. There seems to be little speckles of dark ink kind of throughout. They're faint. It's not heavy, but I can see them in the sleeve there, right in this area here, right on his cheek over there, in this area over here as I move my mouse around up in here. Despite all that, centering, edges, corners, color, absolutely stunning on this card. I would highly recommend it. This is nicer than several 6s and 7s that are out there, I think. So this is a great copy, guys. This is a card, like I own this card in a PSA 6. I would contemplate, upgrading by downgrading sort of thing. I love my 6. I've owned it for almost 20 years. I'm not moving it, but this is a great copy that if I never owned one, I'd be wanting this card really bad. I love it. And to go with it, you've got the 51 Bowman Willie Mays rookie. This is an SGC4. Look at this one. Same thing. From afar, this card looks absolutely beautiful. perfect centering almost, wonderful edges and corners. But when you do zoom in on it, and I'll do that here, let's just close that up. When you zoom in on it, there is a surface issue. Well, some surface issues. You can kind of see it's like the opposite of the mantle. You've got this little surface wear that I'm seeing bits of whitish pretty much throughout the card. A fisheye between the two L's in Willie on the name bar there. So it's got some surface or color issues. It doesn't have a registration issue, I don't think. This thing is perfectly in focus, like really well focused. And again, edges, corners, centering, all extremely strong, especially for a 4, 8,250. If you can get around the lightening of the surface, a little bit of the surface wear, this is a great copy. And then 255 rookies, the Clemente and the Koufax, the two premier rookie cards from the set, both SGC 5s, and they both look to be well centered. The Clemente getting the Fanatics top 15% eye appeal. And I mean, I'm just going to sit back and this thing's a total, it's a beauty. It's a blazer. Is it from the Blazer division? Chris Sewell's Blazer division, potentially? I don't know if you have to be a higher grade to get into that division, but it's great. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to see something wrong with it. I'm seeing minor little issues here and there, but nothing that would cause it to not be welcome in my collection. It's a great copy right there. The Clemente rookie at 5,250, and the Koufax is also an SGC 5 and doesn't have eye appeal. Yeah, this one's a little bit worse condition. Corners aren't quite as nice. Centering isn't as good. Still a nice copy in a 5. Very nice. 16 and a quarter only for the Koufax rookie right now. We've got the Warren Spawn PSA 7 from 55 tops. You know, I just like Warren Spawn, right? It's a PSA 7. And then at 56 tops, do we have just the two? Yeah, just the two we're looking at, the Clemente and the Koufax. Now, I've always thought that 55 and 56 sets are very similar. They are. They're horizontal. You get an action shot and you get a portrait shot as well. The difference being, well, where the name and teams are, the logos, but also the background to the action shot in the background, right? You don't have much of a background in the 55, but on the 56, you got these action shots. And after I picked up my Yogi Berra a couple weekends ago at a local show, I've grown to like the 56s more. And one of the things I like about the 56s that the 55s don't have is the thin white line around the player's head. I don't know if you've all noticed this, but this thin white shadow around their head and their body. Whereas the 55s, they don't have it. It's just the face on the background. You can see that thin white line around Koufax's head here. I never noticed that distinction until I really examined a copy of that card that I have in my own collection. And in any event, the second year Clemente is at $12,000 for the 8.5, and the Koufax second year is at PSA 8. So kind of cool. There's the rookie years, 55s, and then right below are the second years. That's a nice group of cards that someone could acquire. And notice how the second year Clemente is way more expensive at the moment, $12,000 versus $5,250 on the rookie year. 58 tops LK line. Why are we looking at that? You know, it caught my eye. I just thought from a distance, very well centered, great color for someone who's working on the K line run, or you want to do a 1958 top set. Just a nice, clean card. Looks great for a 7 as well. That's what I thought about it anyway. All right, continuing. 1970 tops Nolan Ryan PSA 8, $900 right now. This is a set that at first glance, it doesn't excite me, the look, but it's just a blah gray background, you know, but the image is really cool of Nolan Ryan. I love the stands in the background there. You can almost see what looks to be the first base line right there. It's cool. It's a nice looking card, and tons of Nolan Ryan collectors out there. Early Ryan, I think it's his third year, 68, 97. Yeah, third year Nolan Ryan. That's a cool card. $900. I like it. Ozzie Smith rookie PSA 9 for $1,750. A key Hall of Fame rookie card right there. Looks like a very nice 9, newly graded. A PSA 10 Donruss Don Mattingly rookie card, 84 Donruss, with exceptional eye appeal. It's always interesting to see an exceptional eye appeal when it comes to a PSA 10. It just lets you know that, you know, not all 10s are equal. And this one looks to be like almost perfectly centered. Just a great looking copy. 3,300 for one of the most nostalgic cards of the 80s. Randy Johnson, 89 Topps Tiffany PSA 10, 3,400 bucks. I remember looking at this one early, like yesterday or something, and it was a lot less. I think it was a $600. So that's a card I wouldn't mind having. I love Tiffany, and this is the Randy Johnson. Great card right there. The dual autograph Mickey Mantle, Ken Griffey Jr. from 94 Upper Deck in a BGS authentic holder with 9 autos is at 8,500 bucks. These cards are always going to catch your eye. A very iconic early autograph, like pack pulled autograph card. 1998 Thunder Super Raves. Ken Griffey Jr. number 25 of 25. PSA 9, it's at $9,500. Okay, these prices have gone up since I last looked at them. $9,500 on this. That makes a lot of sense to me. Only 25 of these guys. That's a big card. That's a big Griffey insert from the 90s. And then we have his Fleer Ultra Platinum Medallion out of 100 in a PSA 8.5, 3,500 bucks. Platinum medallions, no, not this again. Platinum medallions, very popular. A lot of people love these cards. They're out of 100. Not my favorite card of the 90s, as I mentioned to my buddy Joe earlier today, but I appreciate why people do love them. I think that, hey, we don't all like the same things, of course, but it's a great card at $3,500. Great for what it is. And if you love the aesthetic, then hey, you can't lose picking up a card like that. Nomar Garcia Parra. How is his rubies out of 50 only $390? Like, I thought this guy I remember when he was playing, he was really good. He was a great player. He gets almost no hobby love. I think there are a few people that collect them out there, but $390. I mean, you could put another 0 on there and I'd be like, oh, that makes sense to me. But Nomar just doesn't get the love. And then we got the Barry Bonds Platinum Medallion out of 50 from 2001, PSA 8 at $775. Platinum Medallion, like this one, this card doesn't do much for me aesthetically. Actually, this card does nothing for me aesthetically. I don't like really anything about the design except for this bluish kind of foil down here, the platinum foil, where it says Barry Bonds, the Fleer Ultra logo, and San Francisco Giants. I like the foil. I don't mind the shot of him as well. I don't like this arced text here, Platinum Medallion. I don't like the background. There's nothing there. It's just a very boring card to me. That said, it's still an important card. It's out of 50, you guys. That's a big deal. And it's a Platinum Medallion. It's got great lineage and equity. So it's a great card. I just don't like the looks of it myself. And then lastly, CC Sabathia, Topps Chrome Superfractor, 1 of 1, PSA 10, $420. It looks like it's in the design of a 52 Topps card. Kind of a cool card. If you want to pick up a Superfractor, you can get one at a good deal there tonight. So that's the baseball, guys. We're going to head over to basketball now. After basketball, we'll go to some comments. Jerry West, 61 Fleer rookie card, SGC 5.5. Now, this looks like the perfect card for my collection. I've never owned a Jerry West rookie. I do want one. This is a very iconic card to me, and this is perfect. This would be perfect for me. I'm looking at the top 2 corners. They are not totally sharp, but they're fine. Like, I don't mind those little things, little bit of rounding happening. Look at the centering. Look at the color. The registration I think the registration's perfect. The color is beautiful. Like, what's wrong with this thing? There must be something going on. Maybe the corner's a little bit worse than I thought. Maybe there's some chipping along the edges, but the white edges, it's not gonna bother you as much on a day-to-day basis. Little black spot right there. Maybe that's a problem. Not for me. Wouldn't be a problem for me. $1,600. Oh, it's got eye appeal. The back has some interesting toning going on, but nothing crazy. Yeah, this is, I think this is, the bottom edge on the back has something funky happening, but it might just be dirt. Who knows? I maintain what I was saying before. I think this is a wonderful Jerry West rookie for the grade and for the money. So have at her if you will. 1968 Wilt Chamberlain, Miro Tudo Sport, Campion Assimi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's a PSA 5, very rare card, pop 1, 2 higher at $4,200. So I'd call this an oddball card, a foreign card, that kind of thing. Doesn't interest me, but if you're looking, there aren't a lot of vintage basketball cards to choose from. So if you want to build out your collection, because you can knock off all the Wilts, all the Russells, all the Jerry Wests, the Oscar Robertsons. I mean, you can knock all of those off pretty easily. 3 cards and you're done, unless you go international, and this is an opportunity to do that. The Pete Maravich rookie, 1970 Topps SGC8 at $1,400. I recently saw that Rob Go, a prominent collector in the hobby, recently, like just last week, picked up a PSA 10 of this card for like $300,000 or $330,000. I mean, listen, great for him. Congratulations, Rob Go. You got the money to do it. That's amazing. But here for $1,400 plus buyer's premium, you can get a card that is not going to, it's basically the same. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, this card is an 8, and it's absolutely beautiful. Like, look at this thing. Like come on. This thing is spectacular. I'm not saying it's gem mint, but for $300,000 extra to save $300,000, this might be the same card, guys. This might be this in the same condition as the PSA 10 that just sold for over 300 grand, and it's $1,400. Yeah, it's laughable. Someone buy this and you'll be very happy. Here's the Larry Bird Magic Johnson rookie card, PSA 8.5 with top 5% eye appeal. That's special for sure. This, obviously it's a great card. Let's just have a look and see how I feel about the eye appeal. I don't think for me this is an eye appeal card. Couple of reasons, but the main one being the perforations are off center. They're significantly off centered to the images. They're off to the left. I like those perforations to go right down the middle between each of the panels, and that throws off the eye appeal for me from a symmetry perspective. Outside of that, the centering is almost perfect. Color is really good. I don't see any snow in the background of Magic here like you sometimes see. Looks like it's a great copy. I don't know if it's, I like those perforations to be centered. So that might not be a standard for the Fanatics Collect eye appeal assessment, but it would be for me. 4,400, still a great copy. We have a Michael Jordan rookie card, BGS 8 at $4,900 right now. Let's try and open that up. There we go. Third time's the charm. Really well centered. Really well. The problem on this card are the top left and the bottom right corners. And those are really the only problems on this card that I can see. Right there, you've got a little chunk missing from the top left corner and the bottom right corner. In a way, it's kind of their kitty corner from each other. And that's a problem. 7.5, I think, is actually generous on the corner grade for that. But I don't really know how Beckett's subgrades work on corners. What would it take to go lower or higher? But you can see those. Outside of that issue, though, the other subgrade, look, 9.5 centering, that's a huge deal. 9 surface, great. 8.5 edges is very strong. It's a great card except for those corners. Warp Speed. BGS 9, $800. This is a beautiful card, guys. Like a really nice card. I've owned it before. Love the Warp Speed MJ. Is a great deal. I don't know if it's a great deal comp-wise, but to get into this card for $800 plus buyer, $960 out the door right now, it's a great card. I think that's a great deal. Here's a Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, Legacy Collection Row 0 out of 100, BGS 9 at $2,700. Just love this particular Legacy Collection Row 0. I like the horizontals, the verticals that came out in 98, I believe. I'm not as big of a fan of aesthetically, but I do love this. Great looking card there. $2,700 for the Legacy out of 100. There is a parallel out of 250, but this is the better one. And a couple of PMGs, just the two PMGs here from 97 Metal Universe. We have the green Jerry Stackhouse, guys. We have a PMG green tonight. Hey, hip, hip, hooray, right? That's pretty cool to see. Jerry Stackhouse, certainly not a no-name. This is a PSA 5, Pop 1, only one graded higher. Again, only 10 made. $20,500 right now for the Stackhouse PMG green. And then we have the Ray Allen PMG red. PSA 5 out of 100. It's actually out of 90. It's at $9,250. Great card. Love it. I'm a big Ray Allen fan. And yeah, I'd love to be able to add that, pair it with my PMG red Shaquille, but I just can't do that right now. Great card. Highly love it myself. All right, continuing on. I think this might be my favorite basketball Rubies design, this Amoeba pattern, 1997, the Tim Duncan rookie out of 50. It's a great card. BGS 8.5, strong grade, 5,250. I'm surprised that it's that low. Shaquille O'Neal, Fleer Classic 61, numbered out of 61 copies. I've seen the Jordans. I don't even think I've ever seen the Shaquille O'Neal before, but here it is, 29/61 on the back from the Classic 61 Fleer set. That's a cool card. I just wish there was one less zero on there, and I would be all over this card. Pair it with my Wilt, put it in my Shaq collection. It'd be perfect. And then another Rubies. This is the 98 David Robinson, PSA 7 out of 50 for $6,750. Grab the Duncan here and the Robinson here. Get yourself a Wemby down the road, and you've got the San Antonio Spurs taken care of. It's a great David Robinson card right there. Couple more from the same year as the David Robinson. We've got the Mutombo, Dikembe Mutombo, and the Grant Hill. They're both out of 50. They're both Star Rubies, of course. PSA 6 on the Mutombo, 7 on the Grant Hill. I mean, this is what drives the hobby right now in a lot of ways. These are one of the things that drives the hobbies are these 90s rare inserts, the Rubies, the PMGs. We haven't even talked about the Raise the Roofs yet, but I love those too. And these are great cards. If you collect these players, these cards are on your checklist, or the sets, of course. These cards are on your checklist. Raise the Roof, Grant Hill, numbered out of 100 on the back. It's a PSA 8, only 2 graded higher, $1,575. Now, I own the Shaquille O'Neal of this Raise the Roof, and it's in a Beckett holder. And I can tell you, just even from looking at this picture right here, these cards look so much better in a PSA holder than they do a Beckett holder. I think I'm going to cross mine only so I can enjoy it more. I hate to give money to grade a card twice. I bought it graded, so it's only the first time I'll be given money. But I do think, the rare case where I will get a card graded myself, it would be to cross over my Shaq from BGS to PSA. This is the Grant Hill. Great looking card right there. $1,575, and we have a copy of the Shaq. So here's a PSA 7 Shaquille O'Neal, and it's at $5,250. Pop 8, just 3 graded higher. I own a copy, as I mentioned. Love the card. It almost got sacrificed for my Joe Jackson, but I salvaged it. And it wasn't the last card I salvaged. It wasn't even the set. It was like the third last card I salvaged. I'm like, no, I'm keeping it. And there were 2 others I kept after, and different cards ended up not making the cut for me. So I love the Raise the Roofs, guys. We have the Shaq and the Grant Hill. I love those Rubies as well. Michael Jordan, 2002 Topps Chrome Black Refractor out of 99. Wizards card, PSA 10, $16,000, guys. $16,000. And then we have this beautiful SP Authentic Fabrics LeBron James auto patch out of 10, BGS 9. Look at the patch. It's got a great patch as well. Just going to open this one up for you. There we go. Look at that. You got the red, the gold, and the white numbered right there. 6 out of 10. If you can see behind all the blemishes on the BGS slab, the autograph is awesome as well. Perfect autograph. Great card right there. Just going to close a bunch of these windows, guys. Let's do some housekeeping here and clean up. There we go. Love that LeBron. 2004. It's a second-year card as well. We've got another Ray Allen. This is a 101 Superfractor from 2005 Finest. It's beautiful. It's a 2200. It's a lot cheaper right now than his PMG Red. Now, that's out of 90. This is out of 1. Of course, this card came out 7 or 8 years later, but a great, beautiful Ray Allen Superfractor. And a 2013 Fleer Retro, LeBron James, PMG green, numbered out of 10, is at 9,750. College card, 9,750. Called, doesn't matter, 9,750. And a Panini Eminence Kobe Bryant on-card auto out of 10, $6,000 with a silver bar embedded right into it. Right there. 1 troy ounce of silver. You go, what's that worth these days? $50 or so? Maybe not quite. $6,000 right there. Very nice. All right. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Contenders Cracked Ice ticket out of 25. PSA 10 is at $21,500. We have his Contenders. Oh, sorry. Did I say Shea? Yeah, I said Shea. And here he is. Oh, just a different picture. That threw me for a second. This is the gold out of 10 at 15.5. Pop 1 PSA 10. And then the card of the night, Caitlin Clark, WNBA, black gold out of 5. PSA 10. Pop 1. $25,000. You see her at the bottom right of our screen as well. That will wrap up the basket. Now, I can't say much about this, the Caitlin Clark. I mean, her cards are on a huge run right now. Is that warranted? Is it going to last? Is she investable? I don't know. To me, when you're spending $25,000, which is $30,000 out the door, you're not just collecting. I mean, at least I can't. I'm projecting here. If it's me, I'm not just collecting if I'm spending that kind of money on a card. It is also an investment. Is she investable? I think a lot of people think she is. I think she's like probably the most, among the most famous female athletes of all time at this point in time. So there's basketball, guys. We're going to do hockey next, along with the cards that I have going off on the platform this week, my early tobacco cards. So let's just go to a few of the comments. Brett Miles, what's going on, Brett? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Jacob Dahl, hopes everyone's having a great Sunday. Wesley, trying not to spend money tonight. It's so hard. Kevin Hawthorne, how you doing, bud? Good evening to you. Laura says, picked up some cards from Burbank for a Cracker Jack GoFundMe just in case. Great, good stuff. Yes, the mantle is beautiful. The 51 mantle. The Joe DiMaggio is very nice. Linda's first. Jake Dahl says, I'm surprised how undervalued the 32 Sanella margin Babe Ruth. Jacob, that card is like, it's everywhere. I find that is not a rare card. I don't like it. I don't like the Sanella Babe Ruth. I know people love it. Doesn't do it for me. I don't know. But I feel like I could be convinced to like it more than I do. Joe says the 32 US Caramel also caught your eye. Good. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Joe, that a great card like that would catch your eye. Laura says the artistic expression in DiMaggio's face. Fantastic. Yeah. So nice. The 51 mantle with his hat so blue. I know. The color's amazing right there, Michael. For sure. Jacob Dahl calls out the 33 Gaudy Mickey Cochran VG3. Thank you for calling that out tonight. Joe's enjoying the chat. Mark, a 5. That is a beautiful card. I don't remember which one that is, but I'm sure you are right for sure. Collector's World, surprised the listing on the 51 mantle didn't highlight the eye appeal note. They only do that for their own eye appeals now. They don't give the legacy PWCC eye appeal as much, stock as they do their own now, which I think is a fair thing right there. Michael Ham prefers the 56 tops as well. I kind of prefer the 55s, but the 56s are growing on me, especially after acquiring my Yogi Berra, which I've just fallen in love with. What's up, Expo? Good to see the Expo here in the chat. Jeff McMahon, good to see you as well. Jay Lee seeing red. There's so much red, Joe. So much red to see out there. Is Rage in the house? Rage is in the house. What's up, everybody? What's up, Rage? And everybody, good to see you. Welcome back to the show. The man, the myth, the logo, Jerry West. Yes, Chad Shipper's here. What's up, Chad? Good to see you, bud. Brett says, with the little dings on the top corners of the Jerry West, does symmetry come into play on increased appeal? I was thinking that, Brett. To me, on the Jerry West, the top 2 corners were basically symmetrical, similar wear. I love that. If one was sharp and the other one had wear, I would almost prefer they both had wear. So that's how I look at it myself. 28 Relics says people are crazy about the PMGs. They certainly are. Mark says, I'm absolutely correct on that one. I don't know which one that was correct about, but thank you, Mark. Welcome to the show. Caitlin cards are hot. Yes, they are. And Mark, you were referring to the 51 mantle. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, that is one sharp card. Lewis G is finally watching live. Lewis, welcome to the show. Glad you get here live. Luke, good evening to you. Okay, guys, let's do hockey now. Second year Gordie Howe, 52 Parkhurst, PSA 6. Love the card. I have a copy I've owned for many years. This is a gorgeous copy. Look at the color. The yellow is great. The red is great. The corners, the edges are great. The centering is off, but many copies of this card are. If you're okay with that, this is a great card to add. $1,300 is actually not a bad deal for this card. A PSA 5 with eye appeal Dave Keon rookie card. And Keon is a, pun not intended, he's a key Toronto Maple Leaf Hall of Famer. And oh yeah, look at the sharpness of this. Look at that image of him. Perfect registration, wonderful color. Centering is bang on. Wow. It's a 5. This is a great card. This is a great card. I might have to open up my other account on my phone so I can actually bid and put a bid in on this. This is a spectacular card. Yeah, that is amazing. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to, I got to just go on my phone and see if I can. I'm going to put a bid in on this Keon. I think it's beautiful. And the price is, it's $360. Just going to put in a quick bid here. There we go. Does it come through on the screen for us? There it is. Oh, I'm outbid. So I'm going to update my bid. I'm going to bid again. I'm not like going ahead. I'm just bidding the next bid. It's processing. Am I outbid again or am I in the lead? I'm still outbid. I'm going to go one more time. That'll be it for now. Remind me later. If I'm outbid, that's okay. And I'm still outbid. I'm not leading. Okay. Well, I got some bids in anyway. We'll see what happens. I love that card, as you can tell. We have a PSA 2.5 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky rookie now. 2.5 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky. Let's see if third time's a charm. It is. This card, I just highly dislike when the holder is too big for the card. Now, it might be good for safety, for protecting the card. I think PSA, they should only do that if the card is too big for the other holder. But I just hate how the card doesn't stay straight and there's room for it to move around. That said, this card looks amazing. Why is it only a 2.5? Okay, first of all, it's got the rough cut on pretty much all 4 edges, which is decent. Not uniform, but it's great. Oil drops off to the right a little bit. Edmonton looks good. His face looks good. I'm seeing no gaps between the thin black lines and the blue borders. I mean, this is a great copy, right? What about the back? Is there something going on in the back? No. There must be like a bend or a crease or something that we're just not able to see here. Maybe the top left corner has a bend. Maybe that's what's going on. Bottom right corner has a ding. Like, this is really nice. You can see the red shadow coming off the bottom of his legs here. That's because the magenta plate is offset to the right. You can see it in the oil drop as well. Clear as day right there. But notice how it's not really infringing on this white border. Oftentimes you'll see it's almost getting in there, but it stops just short. And I'm noticing like a bunch of copies of this card have the fisheye on what is his right shoulder, or the left shoulder in the picture. This one doesn't have it. Not that I'll call that out every time, and then centering, I mean, it's side to side. It's really good. It's a little bit low, but really, really, this is a sick PSA 2.5, guys. Like, this is nicer than most 5s. Literally, it's nicer than, and I'm not saying some, I'm saying most. And I believe that when I say it. We have a Lethal Weapon Superpower Jaromir Jagr PSA 8. These are great cards. I don't own it anymore. I don't think. Pop 13, just 2 graded higher. Not my card, but a great insert from the original 1996 Metal Universe in Hockey. Ovechkin's SB Authentic Rookie Auto, Future Watch Auto out of $999. PSA 10, $9,000. That auto looks really strong as well. Yeah, that auto looks I'm just going to zoom into the auto briefly here, guys. Let's go down. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely perfect. wonderful copy of the card, numbered 810 of 999. The 894 copy would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? The 894 for the amount of goals he needed to break the record. And then even better, once he retires, whatever that is, that copy would be a special serially numbered copy as well. But this is a great copy. From Ultimate Collection over here is his rookie signature, $1,975. This is not like an RC, but it's a rookie year autograph card. Great card right there, 1975. And we have his Ice BGS 10, Ice Premier out of 99. These cards were humongous in 05-06 when they first came out, and the couple years after. They've fallen off since then as far as recent product goes and recent rookies. There's just so many other options out there. But in 05-06, this was probably his third best rookie or third most important rookie card after Cup and SB Authentic. And then we've got a couple of Sidney Crosby honorable numbers, 07 and 2011, both graded, PSA 7 on the earlier one, 8 on the later one, 6.25 for each of them right now. Obviously, I say obviously because the patches are nicer on the 07 than on the 2011, but design-wise, I think I prefer the 2011, but you're getting two one-color patches there, so I would go for the gold patch on the left here and the multicolor on the 7. Autos look good on both. Future Watch Connor McDavid, BGS 9.5 is $6,750. Hard to argue that. We've got the Patrick Kane Essential Credentials Future PSA 7 out of 37 for $72. I love these. These are, to me, just way under appreciated. Just people aren't even looking at these. And then a Austin Matthews Seismic Gold from O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Love this card. Great. You know, if you want a Matthews rookie card, this could be the one and only one that you need. It's a Seismic Gold. It's out of 50. It's a PSA 10 Pop 3, $1,800. And we have the dual auto Gretzky and McDavid Sign of the Times out of 25. It's a PSA 10 on the card, 10 on the autos, Pop 2, $9,500, guys. Right there, $9,500. All right. Now I want to go to this page here. These are my cards now, guys. These are my cards that are all ending here in the next 17 or so minutes. There are some bids coming through, I'm sure. But I have them set by earliest year. So we can go through the C56s first. That's a 1910 C56. And then we'll go through the 1911 C55s. And I'll just tell you, I've said it before, but this C56, I've owned all these cards for 15 plus years. I actually bought the complete set from a vendor I met at a card show in like 2007. Didn't have enough money to buy it off him. I met him the next weekend. We each drove an hour and a half, met halfway in Red Deer. He lived in Edmonton. I'm here in Calgary. We met halfway in Red Deer at a coffee shop, and I paid him the money, and he gave me the set. And I just had the set like that. And I was like, what a great way to get it done. I'd already had my Vezina from the 1911s and my Joe Malone. And I thought, I'm going to get her done. I did. I upgraded a few cards along the way, but maybe 4 out of the 36 cards. And here they are. And again, most of these I had graded myself. If there's, I don't know how many we have here, but if we have 30 of them here tonight, I graded 28 of them myself. So now, I don't know. Some of these guys are, you know, they're all pioneers of the sport. This is the first hockey card set ever, like the first player set ever. And some of these guys are common. Some of them are Hall of Famers. Some of them are well-known, like Ernest Johnson is well-known. Jack Marshall is well-known. But C. Toms, I don't even know what his first name is. It's a 3.5. My set grade overall was like a 4.05 or something like that, 4.1 right in there on this PSA set registry. And these are on the PSA set registry right now, guys. Or, well, I'm going to have to take them off once these sell. You'll notice most of them are simple portraits like this, and then a few of them are the full body portraits, like this Rid Path here. I'm going to guess that this should double because this is one of the toughest cards in the set, and it's the full body portrait, and it's extremely well centered for a 3. I mean, this was one of the harder ones for me to give up because it's just such a tough card to find like this. But most of these cards are simple portraits. You got this Jack Marshall, here's a full body. You got the Rid Path, here's a full body. But look, portrait, portrait, portrait. All portraits here. All portraits, 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 portraits. Go to page 2. Couple of full body. And then and look, the full bodies here are going for more money. And this is a PSA 3. This PSA 3 is at $1,000. The Rid Path PSA 3 was a lot lower at the moment. They're all well centered too. And then we're back to portraits, all portraits here. See? And then we get into the C55s, the second year. The second year, I never had the set complete. I had 32 of 48 cards. It's a 48 card set. I owned 32 of them. And every single card was a PSA 5 or better that I had in my, that was my rule. I'm going to do the C55 set in PSA 5 or better. And I got 2/3 of the way there. And then Joe Jackson came into my life. Joe Jackson came into my life, and I decided that this was a sacrifice I was going to have to make. And I wouldn't have made it if I was. The Joe Jackson's from the same era, though, right? It's from the 1910s. I wouldn't have given these up if I was buying a card like for a Grail 90s insert. I would have given up other stuff like that. I wouldn't have given these up. But I got my head around it because, again, the Joe Jackson's from 1914. So I was okay with it. And but these are tough. These are tough to let go. I've had them for so long. I've loved them for so long. And I'm sorry to see them go. But I really, really do hope that whoever gets these, if anyone out there gets any, let me know. I'd love to know where they end up, as many as possible. And I'll be a big fan of your set if you're working on it, that kind of thing. It'd be so cool to place some of these into other people's collections who are working on these sets. And, you know, even the ones that aren't well centered and don't look as great as some others, like these are not all bangers. Like some of these aren't that in great shape. Like if I go back to page 1, there's a couple that are, you know, kind of rough. Like look at this one, this Jack Marshall here. It's a PSA 2. It's not a pretty 2. And trust me, I've seen worse. Like this is not an easy card. This might be one of the toughest like portraits in the set, but it's kind of dirty, right? But it's still a tough card, and the image of him is pretty good. But my point being, it's not in the greatest of condition, but it's been much loved. It's been much loved by me, and I just hope that whoever picks these up loves them. Patty Moran's one of the more important cards in the set. PSA 5 at $1,075. So listen, I can sit here and spend all the time talking about cards that I'm selling tonight, or Fund Your Cards is selling for me, guys. But we have other cards to look at. There they are. If anyone picks any up, again, please keep me posted. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, let's do football. We have 12 minutes left before the first all-access extended bidding window ends. So any cards right now, like if we go back here, any cards that have red here are going to sell for this price if they don't get a bid in the next 11 minutes. Now I'm just curious for my own interest here. I'm just going to scroll quickly. Okay, good. All gray. They're all going. Okay, so 3 aren't. Oh, now all 3 of these are maybe going to sell at these prices. This one here. This one here. Let's see what we got. Oh, good. See, gray is good news for me. That means that, you know, there's chances for more bidding. We have red there, red there. Oh, good. Lots of gray. Lots of gray. There's some red, and there's 3 reds down there. And on the last page, 1 bit of red. Okay, that's pretty sweet. All right, guys, let's have a look at some football, and then we'll do comments. Actually, let's do comments first. So where do we leave off here? I should have marked it. My bad, guys. My bad. Yeah, we saw that one. Finally watching live was Lewis. Luke is here. Linda's first. Okay, there we are. Hockey. There we go, Michael. Yes, I appeal over grade, Brett. Obviously, Brett, you're preaching to the choir here. If you watch Sports Cards Live, you know I appeal over grade. 100%. 100%. Peep says, is Fanatics Collect aware of the login issues right now? Can't speak for them. I don't know, Peeps, but thanks for the alert. Linda's first, Jay Lee getting active. Yep, putting out some bids, but the host is distracted. Yes, sir. Peeps loves the O-Pee-Chee, classic O-Pee-Chee cut. Okay, Ali says looks like there's a little crease in the middle of Gretzky's right leg. The middle of Gretzky's right leg. Let's take a look at that. I want to verify if I see that too. So his right leg or the right leg that we're looking at? Oh, what, this here? That's not it. I've seen that on cards before. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. Is that what you were talking about, Ali? That has to be what you were talking about. I say that's not it because I feel like I've seen this before on other copies. That's why I say that, but maybe I've just looked at this one too much today. That could be it too. Yes, meet me at Sutter's Ranch. Exactly. Brett says, super cool to see this chapter change when it comes to your collection, Jeremy. Makes me reminisce about landmark moments in my hobby journey. Excited for you. Thank you, Brett. From one collector to another, I greatly appreciate you being you collector to this one, Brett. I appreciate that, my friend. I really do. JG says they're all going to end up in a repack. Well, okay. The repackers pay well. So be it if they do. I would be disappointed. I'll admit it. I would be disappointed though. Ali, Jeremy, are you going to be able to do this auction stream next week? No, I will not be doing the show next week, guys. I will literally be driving my car. I'll actually be home. I'll be home. Maybe I can start it late, but probably not, Ali. Probably not. Travis Mater, love your hard work and dedication, Jeremy. Thank you, Travis. Very much appreciate it, Ali. And yeah, no problem for sure. That was it. Yeah, thanks, Ali. Appreciate it. Okay, let's look at some football, guys. 2 Jim Brown rookies, PSA 6.5 and a BVG 6.5 and a PSA 5. They both look to be really well centered, but we need to open these up beside each other. So let's just do this, and let's do this. Close that. Try again. Here we go. Open that up in an image, and now we're going to. Okay, so there's the PSA 5. Amazing. Like, look at this. This is a beautiful PSA 5. The black is solid. The centering is wonderful. The corners and edges are wonderful. The registration is off a little, but most of them are. It's worse on this card. He looks more blurry. Look at this yellow line on the inside of the black. See that? Do you guys see that right there? That yellow, thin yellow hairline in between the grass and the black background. Compared to this, non-existent on this copy. The PSA 5 doesn't have it at all. The BVG 6.5 does. It's also off-centered more than the PSA 5. The black isn't as solid as the black on the PSA 5. Centering, I mentioned. This is a case where PSA is either a tougher grader or BVG is just poor grading. I don't know. But this is a way nicer card than this. Like, now this has nice white border, a whiter border, but I like a bit of toning on my vintage, guys. I want some toning on my vintage. Call me crazy, but I do. This 5, welcome all day in my collection. What's it sitting at? $2,000, while the BVG 6.5 is appropriately priced well under the PSA 5. You have to look so much deeper than just the grade number, you guys. So much deeper. So Found Treasure says spacing between the oval and the borders is uneven. Every copy is centered that way. Every single copy. So what he's talking about is the black. Look at the width of the black over here versus the black over here. That's standard across these cards. I've never seen one that where the centering of that differs. Yeah, Larry right here says the Jim Brown not being centered in the black always bothered me. That's fair, but that's the way they are. Actually, I have the painting. Yeah, on my painting, my painter centered it properly, which is inaccurate. But that's okay. For the painting, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the way they all are. So don't let that, like, don't wait for one that's better centered, is what I'm saying. Like the oval within the black. The black is centered almost perfectly, if not perfectly, on this 5 here. Okay, those are the Jim Browns. We have a 1961 Bart Starr, another card that just kind of stuck out to me as beautifully centered, great image of Bart Starr. It's got some issues. I see some fish eyes down here. I see a bit of a registration issue up here, but it's a PSA 8.5, $340. Great color, beautiful card. Joe Montana, PSA 8 rookie at $280. Barry Sanders, score 89 89 score rookie card with an autograph, a 10 on the card and a 10 on the autograph. I mean, that's a good thing when it comes to grading as far as value goes. But you're going to pay for it, of course. If you get it graded yourself, it's a really good thing. Centering's not perfect on this one. I mean, you can see that the right border is wider than the left border, but outside of, and I don't know, these little white speckles here, is that on the card or is that something else altogether? I don't know, but that to me tells me that this card is like this. If this is on the card, guys, all this white stuff, it's not a 10. It's overgraded if that's on the card. But it doesn't matter. This is an autographed Barry Sanders 89 score. And, he still signs, right? So it's not that it's super, super rare, but the 1010 is still very important. 97 Flair Showcase Legacy Collection Masterpiece Marvin Harrison, one of one. One of one, $2,800 for the Marvin Harrison, guys, on the Masterpiece. We have a PMG Red Deion Sanders PSA 7, $6,000. This is out of 135. And then we have the green Shannon Sharp. These are out of 15, PSA 7. It's at $3,100. Now, I just want to see on the back. See, this is funny. Fanatics for this card, it says out of 150 here, right? It says out of 150, but in the title, they say out of 15. That's the only time I've ever noticed them not copying the serial number on the back. And remember, we've said on several episodes of the show that they don't, like here it says 150. If this says out of 15, this should say out of 135. So there's an inconsistency here. I'd really like to see Fanatics figure out how to title these PMGs and go with the amount that there are and explain it, because this is inconsistent here. Eddie George, Skybox Premium Rubies out of 50, PSA 7, $2,200 right there. And then we've got the Legacy Collection Rookie Peyton Manning. This is numbered out of 100. It's a PSA 8. A Peyton Manning rookie card out of 100 from a well-loved product at only $1,800. I know it's a lot of money, but still only $1,800 for that. That's someone's going to love their deal on that, I think. We got and again, when I say make comments like that, I don't know the comps, guys. I'm going by my gut on a lot of these comments. It just seems right to me. And oftentimes my gut's been good to me over the years in this hobby. 98 Metal Universe PMG Deion Sanders out of 50, PSA 7, $5,750. Cool Deion Sanders PMG. Jerry Rice Platinum Medallion out of 98 at $1,350 for a PSA 8, pop 7, 8 graded higher. Same comments on like Platinum Medallions, hugely popular. A lot of people love them. Aesthetically, they don't do it for me, but that's just me. Tom Brady SPX rookie card with an autograph. It's a proof. I don't know it's a proof card, I suppose. Rookie autograph, $5,000. Joe Montana exquisite autographed jersey card out of 15, $600. $600. That's it. You change that Joe Montana to Michael Jordan, and this is $60,000, right? But it's Joe Montana, one of the most underloved GOATs in sports cards. Steve Young, Panini Prism Gold out of 10. I think we talked about this card last night on Sports Cards Live. $1,200 right now. BGS Pop 1 for the pristine 10. Steve Young, another guy who is also underloved in the hobby. We've got the Panini Prism Disco Patrick Mahomes rookie PSA 10 at $3,400. A nice alternative to a more simple Prism parallel, let's say. And the Donruss Optics Super Bowl Downtown Gold Jerry Rice out of 10. PSA 10 Pop 4, $3,500. Pretty cool Jerry Rice card. I'm not a huge fan of the downtowns, generally speaking. I like the gold. The gold adds a whole dimension of just almost like adds a sunset sort of look to the card to me, versus the simple plain background where it's a lot of negative space. And I don't mind negative space on a card, but when it's all in the top third, like this one would be, don't love it as much. Aaron Rodgers, Flawless Shield Patch Auto, 1 of 1, PSA 8, 10 on the auto, $7,250. And then the last two cards that we just missed talking about them before they sold is the Joe Burrow Prism Flashback Black Finite 101, BGS 95 sells for $9,300, and the Panini Prism Manga Patrick Mahomes PSA 10 does $4,680. And that gets us through the 4 sports. So I'm just going to reset everything to the top of the pages here. We're there. Oh, what did I just close? I just closed something by mistake. Basketball. I closed football by mistake. Damn. Dang it. Too bad. We lost football. We lost football for now. We'll go back to it. I was also going to show you the Fund Your Cards filter. Lots of cards being offered by Fund Your Cards. We have a separate filter for my cards, but look, these are all still go. There's the Austin Matthews Seisman. Look, it was 1,800 last we looked. Now it's 21. The Montana's still going. I'll just scroll through the Fund Your Cards cards. 72.50 on the LeBron now. Ovechkin BGS 9.5 Young Gun at 13.75. There's a Tiger Woods BGS 10 Pristine Rookie at 360. Derek Jeter EX 2000 out of 299 at sold for $630. There's a nice Tiger autograph jersey card right there, or mem card for 3,100. Scratches are on the case, not on the auto. You could put that on every Beckett listing on every platform ever, I think, and you'd be accurate. So that's the Fund Your Cards filter. And these are the eye appeal cards. This is all the cards that had an eye appeal designation on the platform ending tonight. Only 8 of them. And we've looked at some of these already. We've looked at both the Clementes. We looked at all. I think we looked at them all. I had them all selected already. The Muhammad Ali, the Cassius Clay here, PSA 5 does $3,240 for the Hemet's Journal. So pretty cool stuff right there, guys. Okay, now we are into the 5-minute windows. We have 2 minutes left. I'm going to do comments and then we'll clean things up and see where we're at. Okay, let's see. Ali, the reason I asked is because there was a card I'm going to go after. No worries. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, is that about, next week? Yeah, no, if you're going after it and I'm not talking about it, maybe that'll help you. Who knows? But no, I can't. I don't think I'm going to be doing the show next Sunday. Again, the card show in Edmonton ends at 4 o'clock. I'll be hitting the road by 5. And the show here, this show starts at 7:30. It's a 3-hour drive. I'll be home by 8, which is 30 minutes ago, time zone wise. Maybe I can start late, but I'm going to come home and I'll be tired from a long day and driving. So probably won't do the show next week, guys. Spacing between the oval and the board is on, on all of the copies of the Jim Brown. Bob's Big Boy says the Jim Brown text is offset to the right too. Manufacturing issue that made it through proofing. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yes, 28 Relics. If you're talking about the titling on the PMGs by Fanatics tonight and really every night, I think I should just reach out to them and tell them that I don't think they're doing it right. I would think that a consigner would have done that by now too, though. So I don't know. Jeff McMahon says, I just got my score Barry Sanders rookie card signed today at the Detroit Sports Spectacular. How awesome is that, Jeff? Congratulations. Really, really cool. Really cool. Okay, let's see what's going on now. We'll start in baseball, and we're just looking to see what, if anything, has been sold. Okay, so these 3 are still going, but on row 2, the Joe DiMaggio PSA 7 sold for $16,800. That makes me feel good about what I'll end up paying for a 3 one day. Hopefully it'll knock off that 1 at the beginning and maybe come down a couple of digits on the 6, and we'll be good to go. $3,120 for the Bowman Stan Musial PSA 6. I'll tell you guys, I bought I have this card in a 7.5, PSA 7.5, and it's graded appropriately. I bought mine a long time ago in 2014, maybe something like that. I bought it and I paid less than $3,120, and mine's a 7.5. So that's nice to see. But hey, of course, cards have gone up since 2016, 17, 14, whenever it was I bought it. I'd have to look. The Bowman Mantle rookie PSA 5 still going at $42,000. The Mays sold for $9,900 for the SGC4. That had some surface issues. The Clemente rookie sells for $6,300. The Spawn $384. The second year Koufax gets $2,880, while the rookie is still going at $1,700. The K-Line does $186. The Ozzie Smith rookie $2,100. The Mattingly $3,960. The Randy Johnson PSA 10 tops Tiffany $4,200. The Dual Auto Mantle Griffey does $10,200. Oh, more sales just came in. The Griffey Platinum Platinum Medallion does $7,500. The Nomar Garcia pair of rubies A paltry $492. If you are a Nomar fan, you have one of the most affordable guys to collect. And then these ones are still going. Now just back up to the top. Did anything else sell in the last minute or two there? 18,000 on the Babe Ruth US Caramel for a PSA 3. Wow. That's a popular card. The Mantle has now sold for $50,400. What the Koufax rookie sells for $2,040. Those had been sold. We were just there. The Nolan Ryan 1970 tops PSA at $1170. I really started to like that card the more I look at it. 10-2 on the Mantle Griffey, 42, 39.60. We're up to 12.5 and counting on the Super Rave Griffey out of 25. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. That's a big card. And those are still going there. So we're going to scroll back to the top. We're going to refresh and clean this page up. Baseball, we have 5 cards left. Basketball, what has been sold? The Jerry West does $19.50. Oh, I should have bought it. 6,300 on the Wilt foreign card. I'm going to just take a shortcut there and call it the foreign card. The Jordan BGS 8 does 6,000. The Warp Speed Jordan does 960. 3480 on the Duncan Legacy Rookie Row 0. 31,002 on the Jerry Stackhouse. See, this says out of 10, and the Ray Allen says out of 100. So maybe they're only doing it for the greens and not for the reds, because there's that inconsistency again. Out of 100 on Ray Allen does 11.7 and 31.2 for the Marbury, 39.60 for the Shaq Fleer Classic, 8,100 for the Rubies David Robinson, 44.40 for the Dikembe Rubies, 56.40 for the Grant Hill Rubies, 22,040 for the Grant Hill Raise the Roof. Anybody I know purchased that card tonight? The Shaquille O'Neal PSA 7 Raised Roof does $6,300. 19.2 for the Jordan Black Refractor out of 99. $8,700 for the LeBron Patch Auto. 11.7 for his Retro PMG Green. 7,200 for the Kobe Eminence Auto. Look at that. 25.8 for the SGA out of 25, and then 19.2 for the SGA out of 10. Why does the one out of 25 go for more than the card out of 10? Does anybody know the answer to that? We're talking about the same player here, right? Are these labeled correctly? These are both Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. Clippers. Autographs look to be about even. Why? They're both pop ones. This one's out of 10. This is out of 25. Why does one go? Contenders. Oh, Contenders Optic. Maybe that's the difference. One's from Optic. Is this not from Contenders Optic too? I guess not. Okay, maybe is that worthy? Is that worthy, guys? I really don't know the answer to that. And the Caitlin Clark still going at $40,000, which is really $48,000. So how much time do we have left in this window now? We are down to 1:20. So we're going to refresh this page. Let's go on to hockey. Okay, all still going. All still going. What? The hockey cards aren't selling today. They're all still going. Not a single one has been sold. Now we get to my cards. Okay, a whole bunch of these have now been sold. So let's see what we did. This is very, I'm on the edge of my seat here, guys. And the funny thing is that I don't really know what they should sell for. I did estimate. I do have estimates on a spreadsheet, and I'll see how I did later on that. Larry says people like gold as well. Yeah, very fair, Larry. It could be as simple as that, right? So let's see. I'm not even going to read all these out, but 870, well, maybe 870 on the Rid Path, 360 here, 552 on the Walsh, 360, 408, 288, Lake, McDonald, and Mallon, 700 for the Dunderdale. Oh, and going, 372 on the Oatman, 504 on the Holden. So just one is still going on page 1. Oh, that's page 3. How do I do this without, see, some of these have sold. So let's just see what happens here. Go to page 1. Sold 396, sold 720, 675 and counting, 525 and counting, sold for 360, 186, 470 and counting, 1300 and counting, sold for 516. Still going. Oh, looks like this one here just sold. Let's go. There we go. 528 on that. These are still going. 630 for the Riley Hearn. Still going. Sold $750 for Bruce Stewart. Sold $540 for Nick Balf. Sold $540 for DeCarry. And going. I love to see that these are still going, guys, and that's good news for me. Going is good. $1320 for the Percy Lesueur. $396 for the Pud Glass. $396 for the Bernier. $690 for the Gardner. Sold $516 on Eugene Payan. Ernest Russell, $325, $870 on Frank Glass, $468 on Gordon Roberts, $336 on Riley Hearn. Walter Smale with right hand on hip is still going at $1525, $276 on the Skeen Ronan, $348 on Odie Cleghorn, $780 on his brother Sprague, $525 on Bobby Rowe, Larry Gilmore, Bert Lindsay sell for $372, $600 on the Dara, $750 on the Lesueur. And the Dyer PSA 7, the highest graded card I had from this era at $1125 and counting. And I think we saw these already. So yeah, these are, I appreciate that. 28 Relic says, hope you cleaned up. So maybe if you guys want, I mean, I will look at my spread. I will go through these. I'll tell you what I estimated when I was gathering cards to send to Fund Your Cards to buy the Joe Jackson. I had to get to a certain amount of money. So I was estimating, what do I think these are going to sell for? And I did estimates on all the cards. And so far for the ones that have already sold, I'm like, I underestimated. I was purposefully being conservative so that I could, over pay for the card so I wouldn't have to send them more cards. I just wanted to make sure I got there. So we'll see. I will do a comparison maybe at the end of the show, at the end of the auction, once all the cards we're watching have been sold. We'll take a look at that. Okay, so this is the Fund Your Cards filter, which we are going to close down that one. On the eye appeal cards, these ones have sold. $32.40 on the Muhammad Ali, $516 on the Dave Keon. I did not buy it. $18.30 on the PSA 2.5 Gretzky, $19.50 on the West. Some great cards. Some guys like, I know I say it all the time, but give me a PSA 5 that looks like a 7. Give it to me for PSA 5.5 money, and you're way ahead of the game. Like, that's what is driving me in the hobby. 45 years in this hobby, and that's what is turning my crank. That's what does it for me. That's what's doing it for me, guys. Okay, we're going to close up the eye appeal page, and we're going to go back now to baseball, and let's see what has sold. $15,000 on the Ken Griffey Jr. Skybox Circa Thunder Super Rave PSA 9 out of 25, $15,000. $1,025 on the CC Sabathia Superfractor 101. The Barry Bonds Platinum Medallion is still going, as is the second year Roberto and the T205 Ty Cobb. So we're going to refresh. And we're down to 4 cards now. We have a minute and a half left in this window. Basketball. The Tim Duncan Rubies rookie out of 50 sold for $6,900. Maybe one of the, I know it's a lot of money, guys, but that might be one of the best values out there right now. I mean, I say that knowing that Tim Duncan isn't like really sexy to collect, doesn't get the hobby love he should get for how, where he ranks all time as a basketball player. I think that's a good value, but doesn't mean he's collectible, right? Stats do not always equate with hobby love and value. The Ray Allen Superfractor 101 PSA 9 sells for $3,000. So we've had 2 of them sell. We're going to refresh that. Back to hockey. Looks like everything is still going. The hockey cards are hot tonight, you guys. Now, I want to open up football because we lost it earlier. So let's go to watching, and we're going to have to go to sold and here and football. And let's see if no. So sold doesn't count yet. Does closed work? Here we go. So these are the cards that have sold that we were watching tonight. So I'll just kind of roll through a little bit. Burrow 9,300, Mahomes 4,080, the Mahomes Manga 4,680, the Jerry Rice Platinum Medallion 1,620, the Montana PSA 8 rookie 336, Peyton Manning Legacy rookie $2,220. It's a great deal. The Bart Starr 408, the Eddie George Rubies does 2,640, the BGS 6 Brown does 1,860. Looks like the PSA 5 is still going. The Deion Sanders PMG did 7,200. The Steve Young Prism Gold does 15. The Barry Sanders autograph rookie 3,480. The Downtown Jerry Rice Gold 4,200, and the autograph Brady SPX does $6,000. So those are the ones that have sold. I'm going to close that now and go back to baseball. The second year Clemente has now been sold for $19,200, guys. Like, that's a lot of dough for a second year Clemente. But again, I say that without giving any consideration to comps. It's probably fair, but this is a beautiful copy. This is going to be nicer than several 9s. It's an 8.5 with eye appeal assessment from PWCC and Fanatics Collect, I believe. Let's just look at the back of the card. Yeah, this has the Fanatics sticker. So it seems like, are they going back to calling it PWCC certified? I don't know. That seems to be going back and forth with what they're calling it. But in any event, great looking card. Yeah, awesome. $1,320 for the Barry Bonds Platinum Medallion and $1,175 on the Superfractor. So we are down to just one card still going, and it is the T205 Gold Border Ty Cobb. This is gorgeous, though. Like, the 56s are really growing on me. Oh, no, the Sabathia is still going. 56s are really growing on me, and I just wonder if in my own, for myself, if I will ever start to like the 56s more than I like the 55s. And I'm not going to say that's not going to happen. It could happen. It could happen to me. Okay, 3 minutes left in the window. On the basketball side of things, the Pete Maravich SGC 8 sells for $1,980. Now, here, let's do something. I'm just going to do something really quick, guys. In the background, I'm going to go into Card Ladder, and I'm going to go to sales history, and I'm going to look for the 1970 Maravich PSA, and the one that just sold apparently for $300 doesn't come through because it was sold by the U.S. Treasury, and Card Ladder is not in sync with the U.S. Treasury. I don't know if they'll add it or not, but it's not, they're not in sync with it. So instead, here's what I'm looking at, guys. Here's what I'm looking at. So look at this. Fanatic. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's do PSA 10 and let's go by date. Okay, here April. Oh, maybe this is it. Private sale. This must be the one. April 8th, 2025. Pete Maravich PSA 10 sells for $330,000. Okay, 2 months ago. $330,000. Let's look at the card. It's an absolute beauty. Absolute beauty card. Can I open this in a different? Yeah, look at this. This is straight off the press. It's perfect, okay? Now, let's look at this one. Okay, keep in mind, this guy sold for $330,000 tonight on Fanatics. And this one sold for, no, sorry. This one sold for $330,000 on April 8th by the U.S. Treasury, sold to Rob Go. This one sold tonight on Fanatics for $1,980. Holy moly. Holy moly. Whoever bought this card. Hold on, I need a drink of water. Oh my God. I talked to Rob Go, who bought this card for $330,000. I talked to him at the National last year. We chatted. I said, hey, we'll get you on the show. He's like, yeah, reach out. I just never did. But now I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask him. I'm going to pull out these two cards and say, Rob, you spent $330,000 on this card. Is it in your mind worth $328,000 more than this card? I feel bad laughing. I really feel bad laughing right now because Rob's a super nice guy and he bought didn't he buy a PSA 8 or 9 mantle for like $5 million or something like that? Maybe about a 9 for $5 million or something. And I mean, or $3 million. The guy's got money and he buys great cards and he's a super nice guy. I don't have any issues with him. And I feel bad laughing, but I'd like to hear the reason why this is worth $328,020 more than this. Am I crazy, guys? Like, come on. It's just like, that's absolutely ridiculous to me. And this one, look at the color on this one. It's not as, this is a nicer card. This is a nicer card than this. It's just centering. And it's an old slab. Like, oh my God. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, whoever bought this tonight, you have my utmost respect. My utmost respect, especially if you're aware of this sale here. Sorry, this one here. Okay. Thank you, Card Ladder, for that excellent information. Back to basketball. The Maravich SGC8 sells for peanuts, $1,980. Can't even contain myself right now. Okay, the Larry Bird Magic Johnson PSA 8.5 does $5,880, and the Caitlin Clark Black Gold Panini Prism out of 5 sells for $48,000. So basketball is all done for tonight for us here. We're going to close the window. I don't want to cause myself to laugh anymore, so we're going to close all the Maravich stuff. Baseball, the Ty Cobb PSA 6 Gold Border T205 sells for $18,000. I think that's a steal. I think is a very key word there, because I don't have a clue what these sell for, but 18 grand for that beautiful of a card, a great grade as well. Like, and I think it's a 6 to me. From when we looked at it, it looked fairly graded. Great card. And who'd have thunk that a CC Sabathia Platinum Superfractor, Topps Chrome Platinum Superfractor 101 would be the last card standing for baseball tonight, but it is. Last card standing, needs a bid in the next 3 minutes. Hockey, do we have any? Look at this. Everything is am I missing something? Like, every card is still alive. That never, what's wrong? I got to refresh this page. I feel like that can't be right. It wasn't right. What was going on with hockey? What was going on with hockey? They've all sold. So that's weird. Okay. I'm all confused. The Gordie Howe second year does $1,560. The Dave Keon 516, great card. 18. I said these were sold, so I don't know. $50 only for the Yager. That's a steal. 11 grand for the Ovechkin Future Watch Auto. 2650 for the Ultimate Rookie. 8,400 for the Ice. 1,020 for the, oh good, 1,000. I think that makes sense. 1,020 here and 780 here, because this is, I thought the patches are worth that difference. I would say 9,600 on the Connor McDavid. $110 on the Patrick Kane credentials, $2,520 on the Austin Matthews Seismic Gold, and the dual auto Sign of the Times Gretzky McDavid sells for $11,400, and they are all sold, right? I refreshed that. Oh, I'm on close, so we know that those are all sold. So we'll close that off, and that leaves us with my cards. And I'm just going to see if any are left and still going. The Bruce Ridpath is still going. Okay, the Horace Gall, 1, 2. How many are still going? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything else has been sold. Everything on that page. So 5 so far. 5 are left. Everything else has been sold. So we're going to be able to, moment of truth for me to see how did I do estimating on these cards and how they would sell. So I'll go through some of that with you guys, especially since I think the auction, this is the last card for us, and it's not that exciting of a card, so we can probably just move on and do that and call it a night after. But first, I want to go to your comments again. So we'll sit right here. We'll sit right here. Look at these beautiful cards. So Larry says green are the first 10, so it can be confusing to say the red is 94 of 100. Oh, you mean 94 of 90? Yeah, that's true, Larry. That's true. But you wouldn't say 94 of 90. You would just say of 90, or you would explain it. Right? But good comment, Larry. I definitely agree. Mikey said, I think Contenders Optic might be a newer set. The cracked dice out of 25 has always been the one to chase. And okay, good insights there. Thank you, Mikey. Paper versus Chrome. Yeah, fair. If that's the case, very fair. Relic says NBA guys are a picky bunch. Who isn't, though, Relics? Who isn't a picky bunch these days? What sport isn't a picky bunch? You know what I mean? And I hope I cleaned up too. Joe likes the rid pathy. David G says those are healthy prices. If you're talking about my cards, David, I hope you're right. Please go through the spreadsheet with us, says Travis. Okay. Yeah, man. Let's know how you did. I will. Great news. Thank you, Linda's first. No way that is worth that much. Sorry, but I know that set well, and that's hefty. Has to be a grade, Chase. That's double an 8. What were you talking about there, 20? That's not the Maravich, is it? Top is a little heavy on that old Cert 10. That's the Maravich, right? Oh, the Clemente. Okay. Yeah, okay. The 8.5 Clemente. Yeah, it was beautiful, though. Larry says the 8 has better centering. Orlando says collect the card, not the grade. Buy the card, not the grade. How? Fist pump Orlando and everybody else for sure. It is a crazy hobby, no doubt. 28 Relic says, now you know why businesses love the hobby. Yeah, no doubt. USMNT says, this is like comparing an out of $3.99 blue prism to a black one of one, because if you squint hard enough, they look the same. Yeah, except for the numbering, right? Life just ain't fair, says Linda's first. 28 Relics, I still like his second year better. You're talking about the Clemente, right? Yeah, see, I think I still like the 55 better myself. Daniel, appreciate it. Good to see you, pal. Oh, Joe, you went a different direction and you're not unhappy. Okay, well, I'm curious to see what you ended up buying, Joe. If you ended up buying anything tonight, I'm really curious to see what you picked up. Josh won some of my cards. Nice to hear it. This is the first person who's told me they've won any of these cards. Obviously, they just sold a few minutes ago. You won the Art Bernier, the Jack Marshall, and the Harold McNamara C56. You have the entire set of C55s already. You only need the Cyclone Taylor and the Ernest Russell for the C56s now. I had the Ernie Russell. I didn't have the Cyclone Taylor for sale tonight, but I had the Ernie Russell, but maybe didn't like it. That's totally fine. Josh, congratulations. Thank you. What an honor. And let me know what your PSA set registry name is if your set is on there, as I would like to I'd like to see the set that these cards are now in. I'm so happy you mentioned it, Josh. Thank you for buying the cards, and congratulations. And we have a connection now. And I don't know who you are, Josh, by your name here, but if I know you, let me know who you are. DM me on Instagram, email me, sportscardsliveshow@gmail.com. Let's start a relationship, Josh. I'm curious. I'm really happy. So thanks for that. Okay, what I'm going to do next, guys, is I'm going to bring up my spreadsheet. I'm not going to show you the spreadsheet, but I'm going to let you know what's on it. So I've got my spreadsheet up in front of me. And I'm going to go to okay, here we go. Okay. So this should be easy because I have them sorted by year and alphabetical order, not by card number. So, for example, C. Tom's here does $396. I had it estimated at $550. So I'm low by $150 on that one. Guys, keep track. That's one I was low on, so I was not conservative. I was the opposite. I missed the mark on that one. Ernest Johnson, Ernest Johnson, PSA 4.5. I said 800. It did 720. Not bad. Jack Marshall, PSA 3. I said 750. It did 930. Not bad. Now, keep in mind, I don't get all this money. This includes buyer's premium, so I actually get less than what these monies show, but not as less as you'd think. Fund Your Cards has a good thing going with Fanatics, so I get more than the hammer. I get the hammer plus some of the buyer's premium, which is just how it works for many consigners, like these bulk consigner guys. Okay, so it's 930 on the Marshall. I said 750. The Rid Path did 7.25. I said, why isn't that in alphabetical order? Where's the Rid Path? I said 600. So I did good on that one. The Jack Marshall did 360. I said, is this a 3? No, it's the 2. Where's the 2? There's 2 more. I think there might be 2 more. Here's the 2. I said 350. It did 360. The Harold McNamara did 186. Ooh, I was way off on that. I said 450. The Horace Gall, I said 500. It did. Oh, that one's still going. I said 500. Did it just sell? Yeah. Oh, still going. I said 500. It did 550. The Patty Moran. Where's the Patty? These aren't all in alphabetical order. I thought they were. Here it is. No. Yeah, the Patty Moran, I said 750 and it did 1560. So that one did really well for me. The Fred Lake, I said 600. It did 516. The Art Bernier, I said 250. It did 492. The Skinner Poulin, I said 500. It did 528. The Didier Petrie, did, oh boy, I said 600 on that one. It did 1600. That's good. I think I'm going to be conservative on these overall now. The Riley Hearn, I said 600 and it did 630. The La Violette, I said 1200 and it did 1470. Okay. Ernest Russell, PSA 5, I said 1500. It did 12. So a little bit light on that one. The Jim Jones, I said 350. It did 480. Bruce Stewart, I said 500. Did 750. That's good. Nick Balf, I said 800. It did 540. So I was high on that. The Joseph Katarinic, I said 700. It did 1290. Dunderdale. Where's Dunderdale on here? There it is. I said 700. It did 810. The Ed DeCarry, I said 450. It did 540. So that's good. Herb Clark, I said 600. It did 480. That's the opposite. Harry Highland. Where's Harry Highland on here? I said 500. It did 660. And the Angus Campbell, I have a feeling this is going to be way higher than I estimated. The Angus Campbell, I said 600 and it did 1650. Well-centered cards will do that. So I think I'm doing pretty good overall. A couple I'm low on, a few I'm high, I was high. I overestimated on a few, but it looks like my underestimates were way under in many cases. Okay, Gordon Roberts. Let's see this. This is going to be a good one. Ooh, I said 2,000. It only did 1475. That one hurts. Percy LeSueur. Where are you, Percy? Oh, I said 500. Well, that offsets the other one. I said 500 on the LeSueur and it did 1320. So, the Gordon Roberts is still going. Actually, maybe it just sold. So this will do a bit more. So I'm going to get more than 15 and a quarter for that. So that'll be okay, actually. Marty Walsh. I said 1,000 and it's at 1,025. So that's good. That's actually really good. I'm over. I'm under on my estimate there with what I'll get. Edgar Day, I said 300, did 396. Pud Glass, I said, where are you, Pud? I said 450. He did 396. Barney Holden, I said 500. He did 516. Art Bernie. Okay, so that's it for the C56s. Now we're into the C55s. Let's see. Let me just make this a bit more visible for myself, guys. And I can't see your comments right now, by the way. I'm going to come to them after. Okay, here are the C55s on my spreadsheet. So we are starting with the Arthur Bernier. I said 300. He did 396. George Poulin. Where are you, George? There you are. I said 300. He did 384. James Gardner, I said 300. He did 690. That's good. Eugene Payan, I said 500. He did 516. Ernest Russell, I said 300. He did 325. Frank Glass, that's a 6. Yep. I said 500. He did 870. Nice. Gordon Roberts did 468. I said 300. I said 300. Did 468. Good. Riley Hearn. I said 300. He did 336. Oh, Walter Smale did 2250. I said Where's my Smale? Where are you, Smale? Walsh, Cleghorn. Where is Smale? It's not in order here. Why? Why isn't this in order? It's at the top of my sheet. Oh, I got to do a control find here. Let's see. There he is. Oh, because it has on hip. I said 1,200 on the Smale. He did 2,250. So that's really good for me. Skeen Ronan. Ronan, where are the R's? These aren't. Why are these in alphabetical order? You know why they're not in alphabetical order? Because I like some I have a space after the set and some I don't. In any event, the Skeen Ronan, I said 450, only did 276. Odie Cleghorn, I said 500, did 348. Sprague Cleghorn, I said 500, did 780. So these are all going to balance out probably. Bobby Rowe, I said 500, did 528. Larry Gilmore, I said 250, did 372. Bert Lindsay, I said 400, did 372. Jack Dara, I said 300, he did 6. Percy Lesueur, I said 500, he did 750. Henry Dyer, I said 850, he did 1350. Okay, good. I think I'm happy so far, guys. I think I'm gonna be like in the good here for a few $1,000. Bruce Ridpath, I said 500, did 870. Good. Hamby Shore. I said 450. He did 360. Marty Walsh. I said 500. He did 552. Fred Lake. I said 350. He did 360. Jack McDonald. I said 400. He did 408. It's kind of fun when I'm super close on these estimates. Ken Mallon. Ooh, that's low. 288. What did I say? I said 400. So yeah, I was too high on that one. Dunderdale. I said 400. He did 840. That's a good one. Ed Oatman did 372. I said 500. So I was high on that. Holden. I said 500. He did 504. And that's it. Those are all of them. So I didn't keep tabs on that, guys. I will add these, not these sale numbers, but what comes net to me. I will add them to my spreadsheet. And along with all the other cards that I'm selling to pay off Joe Jackson. And eventually what I might do is do a podcast or like a video just on the Joe Jackson consolidation and my estimates. And I also, on my spreadsheet, I'm not going to tell you guys this, at least not right now. I got to think about it, but I also have in my spreadsheet what I'm into all these cards for, because I know what I'm into them all for. And that's how I'm going to also kind of think about what I paid for the Joe Jackson. I know what the winning bid was and what all my fees were to buy the card, but then I'm going to see the cards I gave up for it. What did they cost me? And then I'll know what I'm like really out, what my pass along cost is on the Joe Jackson. Because yes, the winning bid was $150,000 for the Joe Jackson, but I have a feeling I'm going to be into it for like under 6 figures. So like in terms, maybe even quite a bit less, because the cards that I'm giving up, I will be into for, I bought all these cards almost 20 years ago. So, but that's not always the right way to think of it too, right? The other way to look at it is, okay, this is like a 3-way deal, right? I'm selling these cards and what they sell for versus what I'm into them for. That's my gain. And then I'm taking that money and I'm buying a new card, and the cost for the new card should be the 150. But as I justify it to myself, I'm gonna kind of look at it in a few different ways. So I hope that all makes sense, guys. And I hope you enjoyed that. That was fun for me to go through it, even though I don't know where that all ended. But let's go to your comments now. We ended off here with Josh, who won a few of the cards. Again, congrats, Josh, from Brett. Awesome, Josh, from Relics. David G says, seems like you underestimated the Hall of Famers and goalies. Okay, David, appreciate that insight. I didn't see that myself, so I do appreciate the comment. Relic says, sounds like you did pretty good. Thank you I appreciate that, 28 Relics. Thank you. It's still going some of these were still going. Like I wasn't really noting which ones were still alive when I went through them. There were maybe 3 or 4 of them, and now they've all pretty much sold, it looks like. So whichever ones were still going, 5. Oh, okay. So we know that the Gordon Roberts Let me go look at my spreadsheet for the Roberts, the C56 Roberts. Now I'm doing this I'm curious, guys. The Roberts, yeah, I said 2,000 on it, and it sold for 2,070. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then 1,470 on the Marty Walsh, which I had said, oh, here it is. I said 1,000, it did 1,470. So again, I don't really know where they were when I was going through them before, but I think I'm going to be happy with all this. Mikey says, are you noticing any trends on what is under overperforming? Mikey, if you're just talking about my cards, like these tobacco cards. No, I don't. I'm not noticing any trends on those. If you're talking the hobby overall, big question. Sorry, I just don't have the headspace for it right now, buddy. Josh says the Walter Smale C55 is the rare right hand on hip. Yeah, I had the rarer of the two. Right hand on hip versus right hand on stick. I had the right hand on hip copy. Travis says, well played on getting the Jackson and having to trade some stuff to achieve a Grail card. I hope that Jackwagon from last weekend, who you banned, is taking notes. Yeah, I don't even remember who that was. But thank you for that. And Linda's First says, Jay Lee's purchase of the Cracker Jack Joe Jackson and how he acquired it is turning into the hobby story of 2025. I don't know about that. Linda's First, if it's the hobby. I mean, listen, the hobby is a lot bigger than me in one card, obviously. But as far as like a collector going out and buying a card and doing a huge consolidation, maybe it's the consolidation story of 2025, at least to date. Maybe, plus I have a platform and an audience and all that. So maybe that, but I don't know if we can call it the hobby story of 2025. Mikey, you were talking about my card. Seems like comps are all over the place on the sub $1,000 cards, can miss by 50% on some. Yeah, Mikey. I mean, when I did these estimates that I just went through with you, I did consult Card Ladder for each and every card. The issue is that like comps are just not the end all be all, right? They are a data point or a few data points to consider, but it comes down to who's buying what cards on what day, who's making decisions to build out their set on one day versus another. Like there's so many things that come into play. It's not just comps. So you're 100% right. It's all over the place. And not all 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s are the same as each other, right? There's low grade, high eye appeal, which is what maybe some of these cards experienced tonight. And then there's some cards that were maybe overgraded. These were all graded in 2008. All of them, like not all of them, but if you looked at any of these cards, guys, I'll just click on, no, that's not a good example. Hold on. I can't look at the CFIT. I got to look at the, where are we here now? What's going on? Let's go to watching and let's go to closed and let's go to the filter. Where is the filter? Oh, here. And where's the filter? Here, close, preview, sold all. I can't find the cards now. How do I find the cards now? All items. Oh, I was on watching. That's why. Okay, I wasn't watching them. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get back there. I'll show you this now. What? All live, closed. Here we go. There they are. Okay. So if we look at this one here. So this card, you see the serial number on the slab is 1407. All of the there are several of the C56s that have 1407. Those were from the cards that this was my grading submission, and I did this in 2008. So if you're ever trying to figure out what was graded when, I can tell you that in late July, early August, because I did it at the National, late July, let's say of 2008, the serial numbers that were coming out from that era started with 14 for what it's worth. But if you were to go through all of the cards that came from my collection here, anything with 1407, like these are all from my submission. That one isn't. That one, I think maybe I did another submission a couple of years later with a few cards I upgraded, but I don't think so. Any card I upgraded, like a few of the cards were graded when I bought the set, by the way, as well. So, and then a few cards I upgraded. Like there's 1407, 1407, This is 3-1. I don't know if I bought that graded. 1407, 1407. Yep. No, not that one. So in any event, these were old grades from 2008. Brett says, if you sleep well at night without thinking how much you are in for the cards or what the pass-alongs are, you're ahead of the game. Data is nice, but not to be driven solely by it. Yeah, for sure, Brett. I'm a CPA by training, and I had a 25-year career as a CPA, and I cannot help but track things to the penny, Brett. It's just how I am. So I'm interested in that information, but when I look and hold, I don't have the Joe Jackson within arm's reach, but when I look and hold that card, I don't think about the money at all. Like, it's the value, what I paid, what I'm into it for. I don't think of any of that. It sits in my graded vintage baseball card box with my other graded baseball cards. And, it's just another card in that box now. Now, it's, of course, the most valuable card I've ever owned by a mile, but it's just another card. It's and I love that about it. Mikey, got it. Yeah, that was good eye appeal for a lot of them. Yeah, eye appeal is going to really help. Now, these also have to get paid for, right? Who knows if they'll all get paid for and all that kind of thing. So we will see. But guys, I'm going to wrap up the show. Thank you for following along tonight. If you bought cards on the platform, congratulations. If you sold cards on the platform like I did, congratulations. I'm happy. Overall, I can say I'm pleased with the results. And I appreciate you all being along for the ride, both for watching the Fanatics weekly auction with me, but also my cards are sold tonight. Thank you for being along for the journey with me. It's so cool for me to be able to share this whole journey, which is now coming up on 3 months old, right? It's 2.5 months since I won that auction live here with you guys. And here we are 2.5 months later, and it's starting to, that whole trend. This transaction is going to drag out for like 6 months. Some of the there's a few pieces that I gave Fund Your Cards that we're not selling yet. We're going to sell, in August or September, but we're going to get a lot of the stuff out of the way, bring the debt down that I owe him. And I'm just glad a lot of you guys are along with me again. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Brett, I appreciate that. Have a great time at the Edmonton show, guys. Yes, I will be at the Edmonton Expo next weekend. I hope to see a bunch of you there. Michael says, thanks, Jeremy. Great time. Love the watch parties. Always great to have you here. Linda's first son, Michael. The professor, been listening on my iPad and does not let me comment. Congratulations. And it is up to your followers to make your Joe Jackson consolidation the hobby event of 2025. Thanks, Professor. I appreciate that. Always good to know that you're out there listening. Thank you, Brett S. I appreciate it. Mikey, thank you so much. Professor says, I bid on all your cards but lost, but I know there are more to come. Thank you, Professor, for having that interest. 28 Relic says, a CPA can't sleep unless they crunch the numbers. You don't even know the half of it. Like, every day I get up, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I grab a coffee, I come down here, and the first thing I do is go into my bank account and I do my daily accounting. Like, I keep a general ledger for my life. Ali, good night to you. Thank you, Jeff, for the safe trip, safe travels sentiment. I appreciate it. Thank you, 28 Relics, for being here. Travis Mater, thank you so much, guys. That's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all for being here for the journey. No episodes next week. Keep that in mind. But I'll be back, or next weekend, but I'll be back the weekend after. Sports Cards Live, Fanatics Collect Weekly. Have a great couple of weeks, everybody. I will miss you, I promise. And we'll see you all again soon. If you're going to be at the Edmonton Expo, come say hello. Have a great night. Have a great week ahead, everybody.